Yo, Froggystyles in the house
What's
with
up,
Mediocre
everybody?
Trader and AJ StockThatDip.
What's
Yep,
that?
happy to be back.
So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of questions today. So we're going to give things a chance to warm up here. Go ahead and start firing up the chat whenever you guys have a question, and we'll start hitting you. I'm going to pull up the chart here, and we're going to do some max pain. AJ and Mediocre, if you guys want to open things up.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
I just want to say welcome to the chat, and go ahead. We know it's a rough day. Hit us with it. Go ahead, AJ. What do you got to say, man?
So I'm gonna wait till we get some questions here, and if we get the right question, I'll go on a spiel. But unless we get the right question, I'm gonna keep it all inside for now.
He's holding back, ladies and gentlemen. He's holding back.
No, I'm not. The Froggystyles got the fractal all printed here.
Yeah, did you see that? I actually took the old chart. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So I pulled up the previous pattern from back here, and I stretched it out. And if you look across the bottom here, this is the old bottom support. If you notice what happened before it popped and broke through, it dipped below that support massively. It looks like we're doing kind of the same thing right now. We're going through a dip below what appears to be a support. And technically, this support would actually come all the way across here as well. So you can see here we're breaking underneath it just like it did back here. And it may or may not play out that way, but you can see the spikes. It ran up. They shut it off on the 27th. They drove it back down. Basically, they forced this pattern to end sooner than it should have. There's your first bounce, which appeared to be a touch on the triangle, but that was only like one of the mini cycles that were in the actual pattern. So that's your first touch. You skip that. There's your second touch. There's your dip down. You can see it here. Your double bounce down here. Your little run up here. That's your third touch. We're going into a dip underneath the support, and then possibly a breakout here. There's your pullback, the final dip before the rip. And maybe, I don't know, I'm not going to say for sure, but it looks pretty nice. But let's get zoomed in there and see what the heck is going on, because it's definitely messy. Down 15%. So you mean to tell me after good earnings, and nobody has this thing on margin. Most people have raw shares. Options are, I mean, some people have options, but there's not very many. This is like the deadest options has been. And the price is getting pounded. Makes no sense. But what I'm thinking is happening is since we're not paying out in premium, they have to go and suck the money from somewhere else and then drive the price down. It has to be costing them a fortune. We're getting a massive negative reaction from the hedge funds and the market itself. And all we're doing is just sucking up shares. I'm going to pull up one more thing here besides that, just to give you an idea that something doesn't look right. Familiar with Fidelity. This is the orders by Fidelity, the customer thing here. You can see here GME for some reason is number 5 on the list. Obviously, it's a dip buy for GME. I mean, I don't even know what it's trading at, but it's probably cheap. Let me check what GME's at. $82. Who wouldn't buy a GME for $82? But you come back over here and you can see one weird thing. You scroll over top of it, it says 95% buys, only 5% sales. I'm sure not all brokerages have the exact same ratio, but they're probably close. So they're using what little window they have left to pound the stock price down. I don't think there's much time left for them. Come down here, AMC Entertainment. 87% buys, 13% sales. I mean, that tells you right there, people are piling in on this price. So they're doing basically mental manipulation and trying to trick people into thinking that it's dropping. They're forcing it down. So let me get into the max pain stuff. First, we're going to be checking out max pain for AMC. instead of pulling up the chart, I'm going to do the same thing again so I can show you how to do max pain, because I think it's very important that you guys know how to do max pain. Because the way that I do it is more accurate than the way that when you type it in and you Google it, it's way more accurate. So let me give you a site link here, so you have it. I'll provide that here in chat. So that link that I provided there, actually I'm going to put it in Restream too, because I'm not sure how it turns up. That might actually post. Mediocre and AJ, can you check and see if this pops up on your stream too? When I'm
What are we looking for?
That max pain thing. The
Yes.
first one I put in my YouTube, and then the second one I did it through Restream, and I think it broadcasts it out to all of them, but I'm not sure.
I can
What,
see.
to my YouTube?
Yeah, check and see if I'm hosting it, because you're only going to see one of them.
Yep, I got. Yep, mine's shows that we're live here.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. I can
On
see
your
the max
channel
pain.
too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I see the max pain.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at AMC first, come down to the second chart, and you can see right here, there's a bunch of puts here and here. Now, obviously, they're going to stop us before 10. They're not going to cross it below 10. I'm thinking they're going to stop it before 11 coming back up, but I'm not sure. So it looks like 10.50 is where it's going to try to close today, plus or minus 50. These numbers are not going to look very nice. So I'm going to check out GME right now, which is trading at 82.10. Check out the max pain on it. Come down here, you can see 90 is going to be the bottom, but even though it's like 8 below it, which is, I mean, there's no way they're going to take it under 80, but they're bringing in these puts right here, and then you got way up here at 100. So I'm going to pick this one and this one, put it at 95 plus or minus 5.
What's up, APESVSWALLSTREET?
I thought SPY would have been down more than what it is today. It's only, I mean, it's down 5.6, but only 1.4%. I was expecting for more of a loss, but SPY is looking. This one's goofy. It's kind of hard to tell what this is going to do because that looks like a midpoint. Probably going to be 400 on the dot, plus or minus probably, I don't know, 5.
Brenda, Queen of Swords, says, good afternoon. Wow, we got the entire market scared, and I love it.
Yeah, usually when you're fearful, that's the time to start buying. Tesla between 780 and 800 puts it at 790, plus or minus 10. The max pain's going up right now on Twitter for anybody that's looking for it. And let's go back to the regular chart so we can watch this thing do what it normally does.
I just want to, I kind of want to say something to the community about, you know, my position. I did go red today. I did. And I'm okay. It's all good. I'm not getting rid of my position, and I'm going to stick it out and probably going to buy some more. Just what I'm doing for myself. You can all do what you choose to do, but what a time to be alive. It's very, very interesting what's going on in the world today. I'll just say that.
Now, that looks kind of like a double bottom, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I'm going to compare it to SPY and see if SPY has it, because that's going to be, yeah, we have a double bottom popping off on SPY.
That's a complete inverse cup. That's an inverse cup right there, too.
Well, the main thing I look for is a double bottom, because it usually reverses trend once it. Now that's if it confirms. It hasn't held it. It's just on it right now. If it starts spiking back up, heading back up there, then we have a neckline, which we'll be looking at this for the breakout. We got a trend.
Apes versus Wall Street says, remember what happened last year on this day? I bought at 10. Today it was 10 this last year. Crazy. Sorry.
It is kind of weird that they're resetting the price. That's the mind-blowing part.
Exactly.
I think they're in a worse position. I know they're in a worse position now than they were last year. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, let's zoom in, take our little time machine and go back there and see what we were doing back then. Yeah, we were under $10, or about $10. So how does that actually happen? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, remember, Wanda sold all those shares during that period, right? You know, or no, that one there, that's 8. But yeah, like on that first little run up there, Wanda had sold their shares.
Now I drew that line across just so we have it.
So just so everybody's aware as well, I don't know if you guys I didn't know anything about the Volkswagen squeeze, but before the Volkswagen squeeze actually had happened, the stock got demolished. I mean, it got slammed, kind of like AMC's doing exactly right now. So
yeah, the dip before the rip, so they can try to load up on options. And
exactly, and this is, you know, they know about this. You know, all the hedge funds and the government, I'm sure they know about AMC. They know how weird the chart is. So I believe that this is going to be the dip before the rip. How low is it going to go? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you that before the Volkswagen squoze, you know, before the squeeze on Volkswagen, we went down astronomical. Yes, Bobby, it's AJ. Yep.
let me see where GME was back then. Oh, okay. They didn't get a second bounce. I forgot about that. Those people over there, GME, probably deserve a rip at some point here. They've been holding strong since January and got nothing for it.
Who wouldn't be buying AMC right now? I mean, now if you pull it up on the weekly chart, how many red weeks in a row have we got?
Oh man, yeah, 6 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Literally, this is like the finish bar. That bar right there on that weekly, that last bar that we're at, that's called a finish bar in my book. That's like the finish the downtrend.
Well, yeah, when you're going up, your last candle before it reverses, it's usually really big, and that's
right.
That euphoria candle. And this is actually the opposite. This is like the fear candle, I guess. And
that's exactly
now,
right.
If I'm right, I mean that's what we're looking at here. Is you can see how it gets worse, falls off, and then there's that great big sell-off, and then the buyers step back in, which it looks like we're death crossing down here. But if there's a correction to where it pops back up to 13, and it goes into a bounce at this point, then we know exactly what's happening. Where it's going to pull this reverse right here, where it came down, reversed, and then popped back up. It's kind of ironic how this bar pattern actually fits it pretty stinking close.
So literally, you know, I think we're going to get a bounce here. So Jeremy, how far do you think it's going to go down? You think we'll go to the 8s?
That's looking like a W bottom right there. Let's see if we can get up and make that neck cross, and then I can be confident that we're bouncing. We need to get back up to 1050 to confirm neck break, and this is the only time you want your neck to break is right now.
I mean, everybody has, just done nothing but, kept on buying AMC. Everybody that believes, and, I'm a believer myself, everybody just keeps buying raw shares. And that's it,
Look at that, 5.3 billion. They continue to pound us down. Look at that. They're just lighting us up with nothing but shorting or synthetics or whatever you want to call it. But whatever they're doing, it all shows up on there as, you can see we're buying. It's not reflecting on the stock price.
That's right, because the market makers can manipulate.
Yep. They're legally allowed to manipulate the market, which is crazy. We shouldn't have a market maker, to be honest. I still don't understand how that what they do even makes any sense. They trade in front of you because they're allowed to be a wholesaler, which is another term for front runner.
Did anybody notice that there has been no new FTD report for April?
Oh, they didn't update that yet?
They did not update it. And then people were screaming about it on Twitter. They said, government, you're hiding the amount of short shares or the failed to deliver shares for April, because we know, like, back in March, remember the March run up, like there was it hit like $35 at one point. I think it closed the day at like 29. But during that period, that's going to create a lot of fail to delivers at that point.
Isn't that what they did last time they were supposed to send in the report that like 2 weeks ago? And they sent out the wrong report. It was like a month old.
Something like that, yeah.
So the SEC is blowing cover for the FTDs. And the thing is that I can kind of see the FTDs, so I don't really need SEC to go and tell me. I mean, I'll just go right in the Darkpool and look myself.
So, and then, by the way, we're going to answer all the questions in the chat. We're not ignoring you. We're going to answer. We're going to get to the questions in the chat here in a little bit.
We just talking.
Hey, Glock, my man, what's happening?
Cobra, what's up?
Let me go through here and see who we got in chat. We got Rita.
Hope you feel better, Cobra.
Jay Portuguese, KM, Miss Harris,
Jay.
Bobby, Apes Are Us. He says, are we screwed? Definitely not. I think this is just the beginning. They can only drive it down so low before it costs way too much to drive it down. We're buying more now than we did before. So they're hitting that double-edged part of the sword.
I went to the bank today. I went to the bank today.
Blaker Family Firearms.
Miss Harris, you got Twitter kicked you out again. You must be spreading the truth.
Yeah, you're not allowed doing that on Twitter.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
Apes vs. Wall Street. We got Paul, Brenda, Alexa.
Glock, my man, we're gonna do some more training. Don't you worry. We're gonna do some more training.
We got Need for Speed. That was actually a good game too.
Oh, that was like my favorite.
Yeah. Got Cat.
Bobby says we're going to be so freaking rich. I agree,
That's right.
Bobby.
I'm going to ask Boss Blunts if it's okay if I go and ninja his saying so I can pull it up on here.
What up, Glock?
Trader in the Trees. Bonnie Dippin'. Me what?
So today the market was supposed to go up historically today, but we had a very bad report in the morning that caused the volatility that we see in SPY today. And
audio. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to read a comment. I saved it. I grabbed it.
Yeah, AJ usually sends me a message when we have a report come in. This time I didn't get one. I was wondering why. I was like, must have been good, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't good. It was I think it was the CPI numbers, which is the inflation numbers. And I think it came in like 2% higher than what they had expected. So the market got hit in the morning. It recovered a little bit because Wednesdays are technically good days in the market. If you look back historically in the last 50 trading days, Wednesdays usually close green, but we didn't close green today. At least not. We got 8 minutes left, so we'll see how it close.
So Audio Plug Records says they gotta be dumb as hell thinking a cheaper price will make people go away. I have to agree with them.
Super Steven says here in 2020, you can make a case that AMC was a $5 stock because they were struggling. And then with the C19, I mean, obviously they couldn't pay their bills when they were shut down. So $5 sound like a more than fair valuation. But once they came back online in 2022, the company has recovered. Even without the apes, it's still a $25 to $30 stock. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. Like, it's worth at least $30 as it sits right now. The bare bones bottom price is $13.25, and that's just because of the assets. If Adam Aaron did nothing with the company, it's still worth $13.25. So what they're doing is they're giving us a super discount. Like I said, all they do is produce 1 penny earnings, and that's it. Then you'll get that multiplier and everything on top of it. But you don't even need that. I think the recovery play is still a squeeze play. Me what says AMC's been in business for 102 years. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Just like PayPal, AMC is not going anywhere. I take my family to the movies, and I only bring them to AMC on purpose.
I'm checking this out right now.
I think it's, I'm not going to say none.
I don't see it. It doesn't. Maybe he said it in his video, but that would have been a main title if that was true.
It would have been across the internet. I don't think.
Oh yeah, it would have blown up. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting what's going on today, and it's kind of exciting.
I mean, this is what I expected, and I told Froggystyles this about a year ago. I said, look, I'm expecting to see a huge price decrease before we rip. And just based on the Volkswagen squeeze alone and the research I've done on that, we always go way down before we go up. And if you look at Bitcoin, it's the same thing. The last time it hit 29,000 and it went to 68,000. There's always a dip before the rip. And if you're not buying this dip on AMC, shame on you.
You can't say that.
Bitcoin's getting smashed.
But if you look, there's always a dip before the rip on Bitcoin as well.
Well, yeah, but they're draining their piggy bank. So, and that makes sense to me because when they steal our money with these synthetic everythings that they put out there, where do they put the money? They're dropping it in crypto because they know it's basically like the gold standard of basically stocks because there's supposed to be a limited supply. Where unlike the stock market, it's not a limited supply, as we know. They just create supply and supply. Over on crypto, there's a true supply and demand over there, and you can't really cheat it over there like they can in the stock market. So they took the money they stole from us and they put it in crypto, probably, and then they let people dogpile in, and now they're selling it off, and they're getting gains on top of gains, but now they're spending that money. And
I want to mention something to everybody too. So everybody notices how Google, Microsoft, Amazon pretty much all got smashed. I mean, if you pull up Amazon, Froggy Style, you'll see that they got annihilated. I mean, they went from 3,200 a share down. I think they're down to 2,400 a share. So my question is, they're liquidating all of these tickers, all of these big tech companies, but we haven't seen where the money's going yet. Am I right, Froggy Style?
I'd like to know where the money's going. Yeah, that's sure.
That's exactly right. And I think that they know that there's an event coming up, and they know that there's going to have to be a lot of money to get these shorts to cover. So my theory is that they're gonna make a big. I mean, Volkswagen squeeze didn't happen until pre-market one morning when everybody was sleeping. Everybody woke up and their share price went from, I think, they woke up, it was over 300 a share. I expect the same thing here.
Here's a message from Paul. It says, read this from Short the VIX. Estimated short interest, which keep in mind that 21% is self-reported without family offices. So they could be hiding massive shorts in the family offices, but that's all we're allowed to see is 21% from the honest hedge funds. And that's still pretty decent to cause a squeeze. Estimated short interest is 21% in AMC with 8 million shares borrowed today. That just tells you what they're doing. Where are they getting these things from? Weren't we at 100% utilization like a while back ago? And I keep hearing, well, they're storing them, they're holding them. No, they're not. They're creating them. Like if anybody knows what rehypothecation is, there it is. Borrow, borrow, borrow. They're always available.
I mean,
and I found out today,
buy orders versus sell orders today was crazy.
We all had a revelation today as well that the actual AMC stock is in an ETF, a different ETF. It's called MEME, M-E-M-E.
Yep, true.
And there's a lot of other tickers in there like Coinbase, Teladoc, Clove.
I'm going to pull that up. Hang on. Go ahead. Keep going.
Here's the last part of this one.
I don't even remember seeing GME in there, but I mean, it's got to be in there.
This is a good point. I read the rest of it from Paul. It says last time they borrowed north of 5 million in one day was just before the June run up. So, I mean,
I think this is going to be a bear trap that all these bears and all the puts that were purchased today, they're going to get smoked so hard. I really truly believe that they're going to get annihilated. And the people that sold AMC during this dip here, you're silly. You're very silly to me. I'm not a financial advisor, but I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen squeeze plays time after time and again, and I believe it's closer than we think it is.
Looks like GME is about to pop here.
And don't worry, if they bring it down to $5 in after hours, I know we're probably a day away from the squeeze if they do something stupid like that. Because they can manipulate it in the after hours. That's the easiest way for them to manipulate the price.
Wonder why GME is getting hit the way it's getting hit with no double bottom. But it has 95% buy orders, which is just mind-blowing.
Looks like AMC got that. Looks like it's going to that double that double bottom there. Lovely.
Oh, yeah. Usually, I don't trust the patterns that I see on AMC just because of the fact they manipulate it. But when you go and pull it up on SPY and it's identical, I mean that just kind of tells you maybe it's a true double bottom.
Everyone, Eckhart is asking Jeremy. He said, "Who is going to have to cover all the shorts? Is it the SEC?" Eckhart asking, "Who has to cover all the shorts? Is it the SEC?"
No, it supposedly, if you think about how it all works out, if I remember right, the hedge funds and the market maker are the ones that got the shorts. I think it's the market maker that has the FTDs. The synthetics are the brokers and probably whoever else that creates these things. So you got a combination of a mess on top of a mess. So when you buy something, there's no guarantee your broker is actually buying it. When your broker goes and forwards that order to the market maker, there's no guarantee he's buying it. So that's where all this mess is coming in, because they can actually fail to deliver as many shares as they pretty much want. And when you add in synthetics from one side, FTDs from another side, and then you got shorts from another side, you have a massive problem. You have a lot of shares that need to be paid to retail or bought for retail so our price can go up. So price discovery is not even true at all. Like the supply has clearly been bought up, and there hasn't been any available since a year ago. And we keep buying. What are we buying? They're all ghosts. So all I can say is when this thing unravels, it's going to be really bad.
And if they would have ran it up to 300 to begin with, if they would have stopped, they stopped it at in the 70s, they would have ran it up to 300. I think all of this wouldn't even have happened, because I think everybody would have happy with $300, and I would have been happy with 300. But now I want more than that. I want more than that now.
Can you imagine if they would have let the stock price go up to like 100 or 120 in June, and they would have just held it there for a while and let people dive out of it? I mean, people would have probably walked away, but they go back in and they don't cover. I mean, maybe covering the shorts would have been too much. I don't know. Maybe that's why they didn't cover, is because the price would have been much higher.
I don't know. Pull that up, though. I sent you a thing. I'm going to read it off here if you don't mind.
What thing?
The round table thing. You see it? Round Hill?
Nope, you didn't send it.
I shared a window.
Nope.
Let me go back and look.
I need to say this, guys. You guys need to become a member, because you just heard what AJ said. AJ said he's been doing this a long time. He said that if they drop it down to $5 in the after hours, we're not far away from the squeeze. The reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because you have to become a member. You have to be a member in order to ask these questions when the squeeze is happening. If you're not a member, you will be able to get on and ask these questions. So you want to become a member right away, because according to AJ, he's been doing this a long time, and he really has, according to what I heard about him, he really has. So guys, become a member. And plus, Froggy wants to become a full-time YouTuber. So please help. Thank you.
Did you have a side window? Is that what it was?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to resend it just because.
Yeah, I thought you were meeting in a private chat window thing.
No.
So
I was sending it there, but
Froggy, do you have after hours on there or no?
Yeah, let me go turn that on, or I got to zoom in to see it. Oh, of course, they're not going to do anything.
Are you sure you have it on?
It's on. It's just messed up.
Because there's like a fight going on after hours here.
you see it off to the left?
It's crazy. Yep. It's like it's going up and down. Like these candles are like.
So
they're literally fighting right now. It's crazy.
This is the meme ETF we're talking about. We got this from a.
Look, Carvana's in there. Holy smokes!
Yep. AMC's first. You got Bed Bath & Beyond, Coinbase, Carvana, DoorDash, DWAC, SD. GameStop is in here. Hood, Lucid, Lyft, NET. I'm not sure what that is. Neo's in here.
Cloudflare,
Nokia, Oxy, Pinterest.
Ooh, Occidental Petroleum in there. Holy smokes!
Mm-hmm.
Rivian, Roku.
I know all these stocks. I know all these stocks.
SoFi, Square.
Wow, SoFi is a banking institution. They're like a bank. I mean, it's
Twitter.
Crazy.
Remember, I told you this thing is going to squeeze.
That's why I wanted to bring this up, because Twitter's in here. And let me see. I think that's all of them.
I'm the only one that pointed out Twitter as being a possible squeeze play.
I brought that up today in the chat.
I mean, when anything Elon touches turns to gold, especially after this Tesla. So let's realize that. If Elon Musk said he was going to buy AMC and he sent an offer to Adam Aaron, you already know the squeeze would happen. You already know. You already know that.
Here you go, AJ. You like facts and numbers and stuff. Let's pull up Twitter. Tell me if you noticed anything very unusual. It started out back here at 50, had all these positive earnings. Guess what it's still trading at? 50. That's back in 2013.
So literally, if you bought it right after the IPO, you're literally probably losing money right now still.
Pretty much, yeah. Now,
yeah.
How do you gain that many positive earnings and you don't go up in price?
All these good companies, not saying Twitter is like super profitable, because I know a lot better fundamentally companies that are way better than Twitter. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying that the stock market is I want to say easily manipulated by the market makers and the hedge funds, and that's no joke. And if you want to share a screen with me, I want to show you what keeps me going on AMC and what gives me hope every day on AMC, literally every single day.
So I want to say something too. Like AJ was talking about this meme ETF and a few other people in the Discord, and I thought they were pulling my leg, but I guess this thing's been around for a year. I thought it was a joke, right? Even when I've heard it throughout the year, I thought it was a joke. But anyways, I want to give props to Wendy for actually going and finding the information I shared with all of you. Good job, Wendy.
Wall Street Ruby, you don't have to pay to ask him a question. He's not ignoring you today. He just hasn't got down there to you yet.
Yeah, I'm still.
Everyone's on the Mediocre Traders channel. Please come over to Froggy's channel and like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And everyone's on Froggy's channel. Please jump over to the Mediocre Traders channel and like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Thank you.
And everybody, do the same for AJ. Like, he deserves it, dude. He puts in a lot of hard work too. He could really use the support.
It's StockThatDip. It's on the chat that I'm in. And Froggystyles, if you want to share my screen real quick, I'm going to show everybody what keeps me going, and everybody can see this, right?
I apologize for that, AJ. I didn't know that you be on sometimes, but I'll start. I know you're a partner and his friend, so I will send everyone over to StockThatDip. It's StockThatDip channel. Everyone, please jump over there and like and subscribe as well.
Yeah. Please subscribe. I need some more subscribers here, and I'll start posting some more videos, I promise. And I wanted to show everybody what keeps me going here. So if you look, here's the wedge AMC, but here's the on-balance volume of AMC on the daily chart. So if you compare this, and you can see here, and I'm going to highlight it here as best as I can. So we got this dip right here. We were, at negative, or we were at 68 million. It's done nothing but go up. The on-balance volume hasn't changed, even though the stock price represents a big decrease in price. I'm waiting for this to come to fruition. And this is what I've noticed. And this on-balance volume, I can pull it up here straight. If you saw this on AMC's chart, this is what I think that it should look like. So you have the run up, you have the, your January, March, April, May, and here's the June run up here, that 70 peak. The on-balance volume went actually higher than that here. And look where we're at right now. This is where we're ended. We're on the same level. So we should be right now literally in the 50s on AMC, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be there. And I think that the institutions and everybody knows what's happening here. Like if you pull up like Peloton or like any other regular stock, the on-balance volume usually follows the price. Mm-hmm. But with AMC, it's different. And that's what keeps me going, is this on-balance volume. And there's no explanation for it. So
Well,
So
I have the explanation on my chart. You know, that money indicator that people are talking about. This shows that when you're seeing buyer volume, I'm seeing overall everything in one. This shows that the cash has been flowing out of the stock to correct it, and that's how they're pulling the price down. They're offsetting the OBV by shorting it and making FTDs, and that's what you see on mine. So I knew eventually somebody was going to be pointing that out on OBV, and mine explains why it's going down. It's because they're shorting it or creating synthetics or whatever you want to call it, but they all accumulate there.
A big if you ever looked at what big on balance volume, I can pull up on balance volume for AMC per day on a different screen. And the on balance volume hasn't changed very much from, the initial run up of the stock itself. But I want to express to everybody, I think that we're a lot closer than we think. And I like to see this kind of volatility and price action in AMC, even though everybody doesn't like to see it. This is the time. This is the time to be buying more. Yeah. And if you're not buying more, shame on you.
This is an exciting time for people. I mean, I hate that the stock price is down as well. We all want it to just rip up. We don't ever want to see it go down, but it's got to go down before it goes back up. And
that's right. These moves have to happen. Just like if you look at Bitcoin, there's always a dip before the rip on Bitcoin. And if you look at the history, that's always been the case.
It's been an exciting day, even though it's been a bloodbath. And
I was buying more, today. I bought more just before close on the stream right now.
How long have we been talking about the market doing what it's doing today? Like realistically, how long have we been talking about that?
Long time.
Well, we knew there was going to be a pullback. I just didn't think it was going to be this far back. I thought when it hit 13, I thought that was bottom. But apparently they want to try to scare us more. But,
I think it's a gift to be buying at 10.
Yep.
Exactly.
Now, here's something that a lot of people aren't talking about, too. Christopher brought this up. It says under 10, the new margin requirements kick in. So before it was 20% or something like that is what they have to – they lose in value if it's over 10. Once it goes under 10, they have to cover another 10%.
Yeah, but how long does it have to be under 10? That's the thing. Like
I'm not sure.
They push it under for what, 10
seconds?
They
didn't specify.
Exactly. So I doubt they're paying that 30% is what I'm saying.
Well, AMC is having some volume after hours and not some volume. I'm sorry, some price action after hours here. I'm getting a price at 10.59 right now. So I'm liking it.
AJ, do you got a cost to borrow on AMC?
Yes, I do. Give me 1 second.
Are you using stock era?
No, I'm using shortable stocks. Cost to borrow. So the fee right now, now mind you, give me 1 second. Let me get the other screen up here. It's very weird how there was no fail to delivers for the month of April.
No, there should have been because I can see them clearly.
Oh, right. But they haven't been released yet. So the maximum amount available shares to short is 1 million shares. The current shares that are available to short right now is 500,000. So 500,000 shares are shorted as of today. As of close today, the fee is 1.17% to borrow more shares.
So it's not really moving up much.
It's not moving up much. It's because, the hedge funds and the institutions that actually bought the AMC shares, it's actually getting some price action after hours here if we're looking at it. It was just at 10.75.
Yeah,
so we were
AMC's popping.
Yeah, it's moving.
Yep.
I'm loving it. Perfect.
It's about to cross, too, on the 5-minute.
It's really popping after hours. We're at 10.73. We're up 3% after hours. And this is what I expect. I hopefully, here's what I'm hoping for. And I pray for this every night, that one day we wake up and it's at $30, $40, $50 a share already, because then we know everything's initiated, but everybody's going to rush in late. And I don't want that to happen. If you buy when it's ugly, that's when I've made the most money. When I bought when it's ugly, because we've had 6 red weeks in a row. If you're not buying now, like I said, shame on you.
Well, I can tell you right now from what I'm looking at is the vortex is wide open. So it's pushing up. The MACD spreading and crossed up, and 1348 is about to cross to the upside. So who knows? But the volume's really low in the after hours. I could see right here. So I don't know.
The thing is, the volume was low all day. The volume was low all day today.
Yeah. But they'd have to really add some volume to push it up. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they buy low volume.
We're up 4% right now after hours, everybody.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier to move the stock price.
And like I said, like I called out earlier, I said they're fighting after hours. Bulls and bears of AMC are literally fighting, because I've seen the biggest put sweeps on AMC today. I mean, a couple of them in 2 different orders were 2 million apiece puts on AMC. And whoever has control of this, I think they've been waiting, for a vulnerability point. They bought the puts, and I really think that they're going to get smoked here, and I can't wait to see that happen.
One thing I noticed on the Darkpool, typically they're 55 to 60 some percent internalization. Yesterday they were only at about 44%. So something weird happened yesterday, and that's not normal. So I wonder what happened yesterday and why they backed off. Yeah, can anybody explain this one? Funny how the VIX is down yet the market is on fire.
Manipulation. Mm-hmm. But I literally think that the VIX is being suppressed right now. So when it does, when the VIX does pop off, it's going to cause a squeeze. It's actually going to cause a squeeze in the VIX, just like it did on in March 2020 when the COVID happened. There was a large amount of short interest in the VIX, and they literally got squoze out of their position. And I think the same thing is probably going to happen here, because if you pull up UVXY especially, which runs off of VIX contracts and the downturn of S&P, it's actually lower. It's lower than we're at right now. UVXY, do that one.
Well, this is a doubler, but yeah, UVXY is a 1.5.
Froggy, so we still going to have a special guest on tonight, or what?
Hold on. If we go back, give me 1 second. If we go back and we look at the previous high, which was like $22, the market was only hit 410 was the lowest it hit. We're at 395 on the S&P 500, and the UVXY is actually lower. And that's because there's an astronomical amount of short interest in this ticker. The short interest on this ticker, the fee is, I think, last time I looked, it was like 20% to short UVXY.
Oh, yeah, they're shorting it down. You can see
exactly.
It right here. Look at my money indicator; it's driving down where they're sucking money out of it. Usually, right now on UVXY, there's 0 shares available to short. 0. There's no shares available. You know that they're out to short, but what they don't realize that the S&P 500. I don't believe the S&P 500 is done falling from here, and that's just my opinion. I quit drawing lines because it's like failing at every single one. Well, I guess I do have other ones, but it's on pace to come down to 383 and test.
And exactly right. So once this comes down, they can't short UVXY any more than they have. They already used all their shares. It's going to squeeze them out of UVXY, and I think UVXY is probably going to go retouch the high, if not go higher. And that's why I have shares of UVXY as well. Of course, I loaded up on AMC today on this juicy dip. It was awesome. It was awesome.
What do you call this when I drew one trend line and went like this, and the other one goes down faster? Parabolic drop. So
That's right.
And you can see the acceleration in the volume where it's
not to talk politics or anything, but when Donald Trump and Joe Biden were on stand with each other, Donald Trump specifically said, "You're going to make the stock market crash."
He did.
I mean, and let's look. Donald Trump is, he's been in the stock market. He's made a lot of money from the stock market. So for him to talk about that, it was pretty interesting to me that he said that when Joe Biden was going to become president, it was going to crash. I think S&P 500 does absolutely still have room to fall, and I expect that. And I think UVXY is going to go up, and I think AMC is going to go up as well. Yeah, let's go, Brandon, SoCal. Let's go. Let's go, Brandon.
Let me pull up some of our previous questions here. AMC dropped under the 200-day moving average. That's really bad.
We're not scared. We're not scared of that at all.
Yeah, eventually it's going to gap right back up to it. Because once we get out of this little dip in the market and it bounces back up, expect that 200-day moving average to be our target.
We've been under the 200-day moving average. Oh, never mind. I'm talking about that EMA. So the moving average is probably a little higher. I'll have to look at it. But as far as I know, we've been under it.
Brenda says, I'm here from my hospital bed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Aww.
Had a racing episode, came over last night, and they're going to go fix her. So hopefully you get feeling better soon. I did notice that CSI said something about you were in a hospital or something, but I didn't know what happened.
Sorry to hear that, Brenda.
Yeah, get well, Brenda.
Ian Card says, how is the Darkpool numbers going?
That's the one when does Stockgrid update?
Oh, I was just looking it up. It was, oh yeah, if they were buying or selling.
So, Froggy.
They're actually selling in the Darkpool.
Froggy.
Selling now at this level? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are we going to have our guest on tonight?
Yeah, I just told you that.
Oh, I didn't hear you. All right, my bad. All right, good. I didn't know if you wanted to make a statement. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, we're going to be bringing on Casey Shaw's mom to talk about, because she's trying to get on the board for AMC. So we're going to have her on to talk about her skills and stuff and what she could bring to the board. So I think it will be pretty interesting. We could probably see if we can keep all these guys together so we can ask extra questions and stuff and try to get more information out.
Give me a moment. I'll be right back.
9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep. I'm pretty far behind on the chat, so if you guys are wondering why I haven't answered your question, I'm 30 minutes behind. So give me a second. I'll catch up here. Yeah, it does look like it's a big rubber band about ready to launch. We're just waiting on it. I'm kind of surprised it's moving like that in the after hours, which is really nice. It's kind of what Tesla did too. After hours, it kept running up. It didn't. They tried to push it down going into Friday, and then it would rip in the after hours. And I don't know. It was just an amazing thing. I'm kind of hoping for the same stuff to happen. Yeah, with Bitcoin getting smashed, that's another indicator too that something is brewing, because why do they need all that money? Bitcoin's supposed to be anti-inflation. It's supposed to be totally separate from a stock and the stock market, and it's acting like one of the stocks. So they're draining it for some reason. And I always said the market's going to dip before it rips because they have to go and get their money out of their long positions to pay us. That's the only way we're going to get paid. So the more they sell, like hopefully soon they start tipping us early so we can start moving up as they continue to drain the piggy banks.
I wish we would just rip right now. Let's go.
I think
What did Adam Aaron say on the conference call? Mediocre.
He said, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange.
That's right.
the market's strange, that's for sure. Who's going to make sure we recover all the shorts? The SEC? No, I don't have any faith in the SEC. But there is a process that gets played out. When the price starts to run up, they won't be able to cover the collateral, and the banks aren't going to want to be on the hook for it. So forced buy-ins are going to happen, and all kind of crazy stuff's going to hit. So it's going to make it like a domino effect. Is exactly what everybody's been talking. So all it does is get better, I think. Once we start moving up and the stock market continues to drop, you'll know that we've entered that next phase. And like I said, they're selling their long positions and they're driving our stock down because if they drop their long positions by 10%, they have to drive us down too. So then their collateral matches. At some point, they'll let us go and they'll keep selling their shares so they can cover their debts. And there should be a bunch of other stocks that are going to pop at the same time, I would think, but I'm not sure if that's how it's going to work. As long as AMC and GME pop, I mean, that's all I really care, to be honest. The rest of them would be kind of cool, but if only AMC and GME ran, or just only AMC ran, that's a lot of money that can come piling in. But I expect there to be many that run at the same time or close to it. Here's a question. Have you guys discussed the CBOE suspension? I haven't heard anything about it. What do you guys know about it? Anything?
About what?
The CBOE?
I didn't hear anything about it today. I'm looking to see. All right, so there was I'm looking for something, to be honest, but I apologize. There was an article, I guess it was on Fox News, a news thing about how AMC apes are destroying the market or something like that, and I'm kind of trying to find that, and I don't know if you found that yesterday or not.
You talking about that Fox News article or that?
Yeah, it was a show.
It was a video clip or something. I wanted to get the actual video because I wanted to pull it up because I think it's hilarious. We called that out a while back ago that they were going to have to pass the blame to somebody. Obviously, it's the reckless spending of the Fed, the lack of regulation or enforcement of rules by the SEC, the market maker being sloppy doing their crap that they're doing, brokers doing what they're doing, hedge funds doing what they're doing. That's what's going to cause them retirement accounts to disappear. But they got to pass the blame to somebody, so they're already trying to hit it. They're like, oh, well, we got gas prices and inflation, we got Russia, we got retail. So they're coming up with all these excuses. And here's one thing that I thought too. Let me pull this thing up here. I'm going to plug another link to something for you guys to check out. It's called the Financial Stability Report. This is something that the Fed puts out. As I was reading it, I felt like I was reading evidence for a crime. So let me link this here so you guys can get this document here. Hold on, wait, there it is. It's the Federal Reserve's documents, whatever. I think that's linked right to my article, but I was reading it over, and in there they have all this crap of like, it looks like they're telling excuses for what they're going to do on stuff. Hold on, let me see if I can find it here. There it is. So what we're looking at is the financial stability report, and you go through it. I don't know why it's in black and white all of a sudden. That's weird. And then they got blank pages for whatever reason. We come down here and they explain different things here. Elevated valuation pressures are signaled by assets and prices that are high relative to the economic fundamentals. Basically, they kind of admit that they kind of pick the price that stocks are supposed to be trading at. And when there's a disruption in the market where people just keep loading up on something, that it makes the market act unstable. And there's other things in here too where they talk about, instead of family offices, they call them family homes or something like that. But they admit in there, if they need their money to pay bills, they take it from retail and other businesses. So they admit in there that they just kind of rob us for money. And I'm like, there's no way it's really that open on what they're saying, because everything has two terms when you start reading things. Complaining about asset evaluations, borrowing by businesses and households, which is the family home thing. Leverage, which is definitely a problem because there's so many places that are way over leveraged in fund risk. They go into complete detail on all this stuff, and it's all in there. You can read it, but they put it in a perspective that makes it sound like it's nothing that they were doing wrong, when it's clearly their problem why we have this mess in the first place. So right here, they have different excuses that they plan on using for what's going on here. The Russian-Ukraine mess that's going on over there, which I don't think that has anything to do with why the market's dropping. You got higher energy prices, foreign divestment, which means China's market's coming back up. So they're trying to claim that the Chinese investors are pulling their money out of the market. Risk assessment, evaluation, and correction, which they're saying it's just because the prices are dipping is causing a problem because of collateral. Persistent inflation, which they've created that themselves. So they created these little boogeymen, and now they're going to say this is why the market's going to crash and retirement accounts are going to get blown out. And it's all I don't want to say man-made, but like self-sabotage. And I thought it was just amazing on how they put it together like that and try to make it seem like this is just what's going on, like they didn't cause it. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back again, guys.
You got it. So Bobby says only 75 likes. Please like. There's over 250 people in here.
Yes,
Thanks,
please
Bobby.
like the video.
Justin
They should
says, I
make this
think
place
around
happen.
the TSP going down, it will happen. I agree. What were you saying, AJ?
They shouldn't make this squeeze happen. We need a big influx of money to come into the stock itself to push it 30, 40, 50, and then that'll force them to cover. We might get low enough where they're gonna cover, you know?
Yeah. Highway Frog says, my Bluetooth got shorted on Froggy's live stream. That's a real disaster.
Blame it on Kenny. Kenny does all the shorting.
Wall Street Wolfie says, pee break. Sorry, I had to, guys. I'm in a good mood today. It's, I don't know. I think we're getting closer. That's all.
Now that article that you were, or not article, that
The video?
news, that news thing. Did you find it?
Yeah, I sent it to you in the private chat. I never watched it, so I was hoping that you'd think about playing it or whatever you want to do. I've never seen it. It's the link in the private chat.
Hold on. Just let me pull it up here.
Thanks, Larry. We appreciate it.
Trying to figure out how to get to it here. There's so many windows open.
No, I know. Mine's a disaster as well.
All right. Let me pull up my headset here so we don't have any echo.
Now, I never seen this video, so I don't know what's in it, but it was
This
sent
video
to me.
is kind of comical, and but
That's
this lady
definitely-
she talks shit on us. Excuse my language. She talks junk on us.
Actually, I can't plug this in because the people over in Space Call won't be able to hear it. So I have to.
Yeah, just be careful. We'll do it.
Just turn your volume down.
Pelotons and the GameStops, they haven't sold out yet. So a lot of folks are saying these guys lost a lot of money. Many of them are still in the market. Some of them really don't know what they're doing because they're novice amateur traders who started when they were bored and they don't really know much about stocks. We can't figure out where the real bottom of the overall market is that our 401ks are invested in because the new guys are still there. They don't know when to exit. Maybe wow. So it's creating this broader problem anyways. Very good.
Basically, she called us stupid.
They're trying to blame us for the problems that are going on, but it's obvious that their inflation, their overspending in the Fed, all these policies and this crap that they're doing is what's causing the problems. But they want to blame us for what's going to happen.
When Joe Biden specifically, not to go into politics or anything, when Joe Biden specifically talked about the inflation, he never once pointed his finger at the Federal Reserve. Not once. He's not allowed to. He's just a puppet. That's all.
Yeah, they know that midterms is coming up, so they have to pretend that they're doing something right. And
the Fed will do its job. They've just done nothing but try to wipe out the middle class.
Pretty much. I did get a good question here. I'm not sure if something was already announced or something. It says, are you going on with Boss Blunts this evening? No, I'd like to have Boss Blunts come back on. I haven't had a chance to talk to him for a minute, but I think that'd be another good interview to talk to him about what's going on in the market. We're going on with Casey Shaw's mom later on tonight. Bobby says, if it drops to $5 in the after hours, I'm living in my car for a little while.
Yeah, same. But I literally, if you've ever looked at a big rally after hours, it always shoots way down before it goes up. Like there'll be a big drop first. So keep in mind, everybody, don't get scared when you see the after hours price one day being at like something silly like $8, $7, $6. That's when you buy more. That's when I'm going to go. I'm going to take 90% of my portfolio and just buy AMC raw shares when I see that price. And I can't wait till that moment happens because I know the squeeze is literally probably a day away at that point, very close.
Highway Frog says they put Hood on the same ETF. That to me is weird in itself.
That's what I said. Why is Hood on there? It doesn't make any sense.
Why is SoFi on there? Because SoFi is a financial institution. They're a bank.
Wall Street Wolfie, I just got your question. So you asked that a long time ago, and I just got to it. So just giving you a heads up, I'm that far behind.
We got a lot of questions today, and like I said to everybody, we're gonna get to all the questions here, hopefully.
Wall Street Wolfie says
they've been pumping Cinemark stock. If you look at it, I've been posting the comments over on Cinemark stock. I said I will only take my family to AMC, so you can bankrupt this company. Even though that's bad to say, but that's how bad I want AMC to squeeze. That's how bad I want.
There's also 4.3 times more shares in AMC than there is in Cinemark, so that's why AMC is at a lower evaluation.
Right. What's their market cap at Cinemark, though? That's the thing.
My complaint with Cinemark is with the shareholders is, and I'm not saying that all of them, right? But they shouldn't be silent over on their boards, right? They should be saying, look, there's no reason to be going after AMC now. Like they're not going bankrupt. It's
And if you
done.
look after yesterday's close, all the movie theater chains were up, except AMC. AMC is being targeted.
Exactly.
Hey, here, this just popped up on Twitter. It says you got an update. Terms of service, new policy, rewritten to help you understand how we collect and use and share your information. Both going into effect June 10th. So, what happens after? June 9th. Isn't that the shareholders vote thing on GME? Kind of interesting. These dates just keep popping back up.
Yeah, we're waiting for catalyst and catalyst. When I see the price get this low, I get excited. I don't know about everybody else, but I get excited because it gives me a chance to buy the dip before the rip. And even if it goes to $2, I'm still going to be buying. I don't care if I got to take out a loan. I don't care. I'm going to be buying it.
Carl makes a good point. Says your TA confirms that big shorts are hopelessly trapped because the apes are not selling. That's exactly it. We're buying more because we're buying almost 90% today, and I mean the price is getting beat down more. So they're just digging a hole deeper.
Thanks, Duncan. Cinemark market cap 1.76 billion, AMC 6.12 billion. Thank you.
A lot of people grabbed more shares today, so good. Definitely positive.
Yeah, it's a good time to buy. My daughter called me. It was kind of funny. I was in a live chat, and so I answered her on speaker because I knew why she was calling, right? Like, she just called out of nowhere, and I'm like, well, all the apes can hear her conversation with me because I don't care. But yeah, she wanted to buy more shares, and she did. So
says go raid your coin jars. It's blowout sale, pretty much. We're super
exactly.
Discounted.
I love it, Hanzo.
Now this is my thought too. I'm thinking I think it's going to happen before Christmas, but I keep thinking, boy, this Christmas is going to be pretty nice because the squeeze is looking like there's no way it's going to make it to Christmas. Like they can't even roll it over from week to week now.
And when they try to blame us and say, "Oh, it's our fault the market collapsed or the economy, it's because of what we did." No, we're not the ones short selling the stock and doing all this crazy manipulation crap, right? I own a legitimate company at a legitimate price that I think it's valued at. Why should I have to sell my stock? I'm not going to sell my stock because some hedge fund is crying like a baby because they shorted it.
Yeah, what was that institution or hedge fund that said, yeah, it's worth $1 a share? Like, dude, you got to be joking. Everybody, the retail owns the float. That's it.
Listen, 15K more. If he's on Fidelity, you watch, they'll kick his order back a couple times because they've been playing that game as of recent.
There's a Ryan Cohen tweet today.
Retail really owns the float here. They're going to have to cover this float a lot of times.
Yeah, good luck. Because that 20% short that they claim that the short interest really is, again, it's self-reported data. I think they're shorting inside the family offices because they don't have to report. So you think about that. We're only being told the honest ones. Yeah, word on the street is they borrowed $8 million today, which I heard that too. So that's nutty.
Can they do it? Can they complete their plan? I don't think so.
I want to see.
As we were talking, they borrowed another 50,000 as we were talking.
Look at that green check mark that just showed up on the screen there. That means that might be bouncing right off of that number right there. It's not guaranteed, but that's usually what that signal is it's about to bounce.
Golly Got a Glock says, I'm pawning my goldfish.
Hey, it's gold. You might be able to get some money out of it.
Come on, Glock.
Yep, this is another good comment too. It says when there's buy when there's blood on the streets. I mean, there was blood everywhere today, and I was expecting a bounce back today. To be honest, I thought it was going to dip Monday, Tuesday, reverse Wednesday, Thursday, but they decided to go and keep hitting us, and I'm like, they're going to pay for it because now they're going to have to go and run it up either big time tomorrow, or, I mean, I don't know. It's getting interesting because it just seems like we got them up against the ropes again.
Yeah, I mean, today, I got to say, like, I surrounded myself around people today who are like-minded and funny and have a sense of humor and don't let the stupidity bother them because they know where we stand, and that makes me happy.
Everyone that's in the space call, do you mind going down into the chat if you have not already liked and subscribed to Froggystyles channel, Mediocre Trader's channel, and StockThatDip's channel? Definitely appreciate it. And those are in the chat, in the live stream chat, please jump over to Mediocre Trader's channel if you haven't already liked and subscribed, as well as StockThatDip's channel. Then hop back over to Froggy's channel, like and subscribe as well. Thank you.
So it is kind of ironic that Trump did mention that the market was going to crash under Biden. And, I mean, here we are. It might not be crashing, but this might not be the end of the dip. So
let me put it in everybody's perspective, too. In the last 50 trading days, SPY has the worst days on Thursday. And today is Wednesday. So tomorrow, historically, by the trend, tomorrow is going to be the worst day for the S&P 500, and so is Friday and Monday. So we got 1, 2, 3 red days in a row that are coming up that are on my agenda that I've already been planning for. And that's why I bought UVXY and I loaded up on AMC today because I think the dip was excessive on AMC. We're on SSR, so let's just be happy for that.
See, here's a good question. If Biden helps this thing pop, would he be reelected? I think if he got credit for this thing squeezing, I think he'd get a mountain of votes. I mean, I was saying before, if Elon came in and bought like 25% of AMC for, pennies compared to what he paid for Twitter and caused the squeeze, how many people would buy Teslas just because Elon helped squeeze it? I mean,
no doubt, no doubt. I mean, if Biden would say something on an announcement, and literally if he were to say, "Hey, we know the manipulation that's going on with the stock market, specifically with a movie theater chain that's in the stock market, no names." If he did that, I think he would win me. He would win me over.
AJ, what's your thoughts on how low SPY will go? I'm going to pull up my chart real quick and try to come up with a number.
I just want to say,
I already got the number. So I've already, everybody that's in the Discord should have seen it already. But I can share it here. I already got the numbers that I already know where it's going to go.
I just want to say I'm calling BS on the both of you. You guys would not support that guy.
I got numbers like you don't want to see the bottom number that I have. It's 217, but I drew it up just in case because I knew the market was going to get hit really hard, and like that's probably a normal correction.
So if you want to share my screen here, I can share with everybody what I see.
Actually, I'll set this back this way.
Let me know when you're sharing it here.
There you go.
All right, so the S&P 500 runs on, what's called a counter channel. So if we look back at the previous history, so we had bounces bounces previously on the S&P 500 on the Keltner channel, bottom of the Keltner channel. So we have this one here, which was, August 2015. We have this one here, which was January 2016. We have this one here, which was December 24th, 2018. And we have the COVID crash here. They all stay in this channel usually. This one was a little bit excessive here. So look, this is where we're at right now. Everybody can look. I absolutely, without a doubt, think that we're going to come down to this to touch in the 370s. This is telling me 372. So next week we might go up a little bit. So 374, and it should get a bounce just like this did. It touched the Keltner channel on the COVID crash. It got bought back up, just like this one here. It touched the bottom of it, got bought back up, and these ones especially back in the day. If we take history, bounced around the Keltner channel, came down, bounced, double bottom here, bounced up. So I literally think, in my best, it's probably going to come down to around 372. And what I thought was really going to happen was we really have a head and shoulders pattern on the S&P 500. So we could get a bounce. We could get a bounce, higher, and then we're going to go. I think we're definitely going to come to the bottom of this channel here, and I think it's going to be around in the low 370s, 374, 375 when we get there. Maybe high 370s, but I would put money on it. We're going to 370s for sure. And that's it.
All right, let me pull this back up here. Looks like Sundial earnings is today. I'm not sure if it already went off or if it's coming up. I didn't see the results, so I'm thinking it was after hours. Let me pull it up here, see what I can find.
Yeah, they're down after hours right now.
Did they break $1?
Oh no. Wow, it is so
they're
cheap.
At 37 cents. I can't believe it. I remember trading this stock when the GME ran up. It was at $3 a share. And that's when I sold at like $2.80, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm happy with that profit." And look what happened now. We're at 37 cents. Probably a good time to start picking up some of these marijuana stocks, because once the government allows the marijuana companies to deposit money and take credit card payments, that's when we're going to get a big run up in the marijuana stocks. So everybody be aware of that.
I mean, if Sundial doesn't get above $1, they're going to have to do a reverse split. That's just the bottom line.
I think they should. I think they have too many shares outstanding as it is.
No, I agree, and that's why I got out of it. I like the company itself. I just don't see them not having a reverse split.
Hey, guess what, Mediocre?
What's up?
Share my screen again real quick. This is kind of off topic, but I wanted to show him this. Real quick. It's only take 30 seconds here. You know what stock this is?
Yeah, NVAX.
This is your baby, remember? Look where we're at right now. We're at the bottom of the Kelt. All right. We got a closed door here. We got an open door here, so it's not highlighted. So this highlight's not up at the top. Yeah. So literally, it's probably not going to go any lower than where it is right now at $42 a share. Can you believe that? This thing was at, if you look, it was at $328. Holy smokes.
I think it goes lower.
I'd probably be buying if I got some extra money that I didn't put in AMC.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the company. I did a lot of research on the company. I was lucky to make as much money as I did on that stock. I don't know.
let's just say, the government has, I think, $1 trillion left to spend on COVID relief. They haven't spent it yet. So let's be aware of that, everybody.
Yeah, please hit that like button if you do get a chance. That does help out the algo. I'm about to pull up a couple more questions here. Or comments, at least. Jesse says, hey, Frog, do you think that BlackRock and Vanguard will recall their shares before the GME dividend? Hope so. They're gonna have to recall them at some point. Makes me wonder what they're thinking when the prices are going down under what they paid. So that's going to force somebody to go and start buying some stock back so they can exit their position at a positive price. I don't really know why they haven't done it yet. They might just be holding off, waiting for, I don't know, that U.S. crypto dollar. We're going to get paid one way or another. I have a feeling that's how we're going to get paid. So I'm keeping my ears open for that crypto dollar thing that comes in. Hanzo says Misty's an awesome person for the board. Yeah, that's why we want to do an interview with her. Hanzo says that Misty is an incredible person for the board. She's an excellent skill set. Can't collect pay, so she'll donate it to AMC Cares and just wait. She'll knock your socks off. So definitely give us something to look forward to. I do want to thank you for your support, Brian. And Ant Card says AA said he knows our concerns and he promises in due time we will get ours. I like the way he worded it, saying he's going to pounce. So it's like he knows something's coming and he's ready for it, which is pretty interesting what he's talking about.
What I liked about what he said, too, was that he actually said specific things that we're talking about in the community. So to prove that he does hear us, which hopefully he reacts to what he's hearing then. That's all I could say, That was one of my major complaints about him, that he was too quiet and didn't acknowledge us. So.
DV Diva says there's absolutely nobody that can convince me that margin calls have not begun. They might be, because you would actually see the dip before the rip. You'd see the whole market come down before we would pop up. And obviously they'd be pulling us down with it so they can load up. So, I mean, it's kind of, I called this back in December. I said the whole market's going to have to come down to pay us. And a lot of people thought I was crazy for saying it. I actually thought I was crazy for a couple of minutes there because it wasn't acting right. But all they did was delay it from December up until now. And now the whole market's coming down. And like I said, they have to sell their assets to pay us. And that's the only way we're going to get paid. So when I said Tesla was going to come down to like $500-600 a share, I mean, that's because they had to go and sell their main positions to go and pay us that money. And that's what seems like it could be happening.
I would say Wall Street Wolfie, I do apologize that that happened to you. Unfortunately, the price is $4.99. That's only 16 cents a day to become a member. And just think about this. You thought your Froggy was overlooking you today. So when the squeeze does happen, you won't be able to ask you any questions or anything because you're not a member. So you probably want to rejoin again. I'm sorry that, that whatever happened, it happened. But the price now is $4.99. I do apologize. It's only 16 cents a day. Go ahead, Froggy.
Yeah, when the squeeze happens, I'm going to change it from subscription only to members only, just so it like takes away probably half or 3/4 of the comments that are coming in, and then we can focus on like just the members. And because everybody's still going to want to listen to what's being told, but there's obviously specific questions that need to be answered, and I want to focus on the members during that time frame. So that's why we were going that route, was just to slow it down. It was either that or go to slow mode on chat too. So the questions that were coming in were more of a quality question that was based upon probably what we're talking about. So both of those are options. It depends on how many people come in. Justin says they are trapped, basically have to be margin called or forced liquidation, which is exactly what we want. Dippin says, I think they will shove the price down as much as they can, and after 2 weeks or so, we rip. Yeah, that's usually what happens before it runs up. They push it down.
We had 6 red weeks in a row now, so I think we're
getting closer
than we think.
No, I was just talking about this the other day. Justin's talking about now. It says, I think around the TSP going down, it will happen. But I think the TSP, the adjustment time frame is from the 16th to the 27th, but I'm not exactly sure 100% about that. But I would figure after the 27th and the retirement accounts can't be moved around or whatever, then I would assume things would probably start happening after that point. Mysterious Motorsport says they need to get rid of the SEC if they can't do their job. That's I still don't see a benefit of the SEC.
Nope.
Yeah.
Wall Street says we are their boogeymen. Yeah, they want to blame us for what they've done wrong. And to be honest, I don't think anybody's really going to care as long as we get the squeeze and we're out. We know we didn't cause the market to crash. Per se. They had to cover, but what happens, happens. It's the hedge funds that caused this, not us. I'm just reading down through the comments here.
Anybody that posted any comments from earlier when we first started, you can just post them again. That would be appreciated. So we don't have to scroll all the way down.
Well, no, you don't have to post them again. I'm scrolling all the way down just to get them all.
Okay, great. Ms. Harris is right. Less than a cup of coffee a day. You can join when we have the squeeze, because we're going to make it members only. And of course, I'm going to be live.
He's a little bit upset. I'm trying to explain to him if he's upset now that his question, he thinks his question was overlooked, but it really wasn't, because Froggy ran a bit into it. How is he going to say if he's not a member on that day? He can't ask any questions. So for 16 cents, I'm just saying 16. He said he wants it back at $1.99. Unfortunately, it can't happen right now. So 16 cents a day, I think it's pretty reasonable. Don't you agree with that? 16 cents?
Yeah, I totally agree. Less than a cup of coffee a day you put in your Keurig machine or your coffee.
I seen Wolfie's comment, and if you're going to come on a channel, you have to be respectful. If you're not going to be respectful, you will get blocked. So, we can't just cater to you just because you want to scream and chat. So if you're not going to be respectful, you will be blocked. So watch what you say. AMC and GME, that's the name of the person here, says, is she a Fox anchor? Yeah, that lady that was talking, that was definitely a Fox anchor. I don't know who it was. I've never seen her before, it might not be an anchor, but it was definitely someone on Fox. So.
And again, they're putting out garbage because they don't have the facts. Or they have the facts and they don't care what the facts are. So they put out garbage anyways. It's one or the other.
Yeah, it says right there, she's an anchor.
Yeah, I'm about to go blow up her Twitter.
She's another Gasparino.
Yeah, what I was saying earlier about this is Wolfie or Wall Street Wolfie's comment says, how is Cinemark more than AMC? And that's because AMC has 516 million shares on the float, where Cinemark only has like 120 million shares. So when you take the market cap and you divide it by the number, it comes up with a difference. And we obviously have a lot more shares, or we'd be trading at a higher price.
I do want to say that one of your partners, the one is in here from A Radio. And one more question. The X, I don't know how you would do it on your phone. Try it on your watch, your iWatch. They'll let you do it. If not, then I have to try to figure out a way for you, and I'll let you know tomorrow.
Dunick or Donick says, I'm losing faith, guys. This is like, if you look at the chart that I have pulled up right now, you can see we're just going into what appears to be just another dip phase. It does look bad just because of the numbers, but they want to scare you out. If anything, you're getting a better buying opportunity. The stock is not a bankrupt candidate anymore, so it's technically 100% a recovery play. We just haven't got our reward yet. The shorts are still here, and just like Phil For Real says, the shorts have not covered. So that's pretty much it. You just hold tight because, I mean, that's.
I just want to say.
Go ahead.
I just want to say I'm not going to tell you what to do with your shares or whatever. I'm not a financial advisor, but I don't know how many shows you watch or YouTubers you watch or whatever you do, but there's a lot of information out there. I mean a lot. And if you just did basic DD, if you just searched on Google what should AMC be trading at, there's companies out there saying that it should trade around $30. All right. So if AMC should be trading around $30 and it's down to $10, that's less than half price. I mean, I'm just right. So it might not be $30 right now, but I don't want to buy it if it's at $30. I want to buy it
right
now.
That's right. You want to buy that dip before the rip, just like I said.
I mean, I don't give price, but if you got I forget what they call them, but analysts. If you got stock analysts saying that the stock is worth $30, I know there's some saying it's worth $1. You got to pick the ones you believe, right? Like I truly believe if without the squeeze or any of that, it's worth $30. So to me, it's a steal right now.
Right. And then, remember Wall Street has a sector rotation that they follow. They'll pump the sector like Walmart and like all the stocks that nobody likes to buy. And then they'll eventually come to this sector. And when the money comes in there, it'll create momentum and hopefully other institutions buy more shares. Because that's what we need. I would love to see the institutions own 50%. We already own the float. I mean, with everybody that's bought, I bought a lot more today, a lot more raw shares. I think everybody else did here too. If you're not buying here, I mean, it went below my average today. So, I mean, why wouldn't I buy more today when it went below my average? I mean,
exactly.
It's just silly. I think this is a crazy, crazy dip. I really do.
I went red today as well, and I went to the bank. I'll just say that. I went to the bank and moved some stuff around, and thank you for the delicious dip.
Yeah, I'm happy to see this kind of volatility in AMC. If it's going sideways, I mean, I just get more bored than everything. But when I see some movement, I mean, on the RSI, we're so oversold right now. It's silly.
No, I'm not telling anybody what to do with their money. I'm just saying I'm not a financial advisor. I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest that what we're saying is factual.
And Christian Princess, I want to say, don't worry about that. Worry about selling too soon or holding too long, is because I don't know if I told anybody else. I'm going to secure profit along the way, along the ride. And if you're a member here, you're going to be able to follow along with all of us here.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't hear you speaking. I didn't hear you speaking, AJ. I apologize.
It's all good.
Here's the thing. Why Duncan says Cinemark market cap is 1.7 billion. AMC's market cap is 6.1, and then you got to keep in mind you got 1.2 billion, or not billion, million shares versus 516 million shares on the other side, and that's where you get that price difference.
All right, they have a less amount of shares in their float, so it takes less money to make the price action move up, to make the share price go up.
Weston says, which membership is needed to be able to come on for the squeeze? That's just any normal membership. Because once it goes to members only, it stops you from asking questions. That's the only thing that it does. Super Steven says, there are 3 main reasons you should hold the stock. One, AMC has no competition. Pretty much just about no competition. AMC is going into the summer movies, historical revenue coming. They got a lot of really good movies coming up too. Like huge list coming up for second half of the year. Number 3, the MOAS potential because of the reckless shorting. Yeah, that Super Steven's right on point with all of those. Denno Mike says we should not accept any blame for any of this stuff. Yeah, we didn't cause this problem to happen in the first place. It's just coincidentally, I mean, we found a squeeze play, we hopped in it. Somebody else created the environment to make this squeeze happen, and we're going to capitalize on it. So we did what investors are supposed to do, is find good plays, and we bought it.
They're just mad because they're on the other end of it. That's ultimately the whole thing right there, in a nutshell. They can say whatever they want. They're mad because fundamentally we're in a stock that's fundamentally going to survive. There's no chance of bankruptcy. So,
yeah, bankruptcy's been off the table. I mean, I don't think there's one person that's thinking that AMC is going to go bankrupt anytime this year. If anything, I can see it hitting $2 billion in cash holdings. So, and then once they get all them rear rent payments paid up, once they get that caught up, they're going to be putting more money into their bank. So, I think, what is that, January is when that happens. So, I mean, you think about it, we're getting closer. I'm not sure if it's this January or next January, but once they finish paying up all their rear rental agreement or whatever that they had from, I can't remember what that thing was called, the moratoriums. Once they get that all caught up and paid up, which I heard it was January, I'm hoping it's this coming up one here. Like I said, they'll have more more profits to go with their revenue. So that will be better for earnings too. If you guys see any more comments or anything, just go ahead and read them off because I'm still cutting through them right now.
I had 2 other people saying they couldn't get down on their phone either. I just figured it out for you guys. Click on more. And then once you click on more, because I just did it through my iPhone, click on more, and then it'll take you straight to it. So Xman and the 2 that are in my DM, please click on more, and it'll take you straight to the membership. And you can go from there on YouTube. So here's the one.
Hello, hello. Good. All right. I don't have a tyrant today, but I do have a dialogue that I'd like to share with everybody. I posted a video up to the top. That's Liz and our friend Charles Gasparino talking about AMC the other day. I want you to watch it. Take a couple minutes and then watch it later. Retweet it out so this way you can find it later. But you need to listen to the way that they speak about things and the words that they're using. You can tell Liz is reading from a script when she says about the diamond hands, not going to paper hands, blah, blah, blah. And then Charles gets into his shtick. Charles isn't reading from a script. Charles is just going off of what he has been told to keep saying. And if you know anything about Fox, do some digging around. You'll find how they're all connected to you-know-who. But the things that Charles mentions in this video, when he starts talking, he doesn't remember when the buy button was removed. Liz has to correct him on the date. He doesn't remember about how low the stock was, then starts telling people that they got it at $20, $30, even $70. Now it's all the way back down. So right off the bat, he's trying to screw with your psyche to start telling people, anybody else that got in, if they went in at 70, oh my God, look at the stock right now. There's no way I'm going to get into this stock. As Charles continues to go on, he then starts to discuss Citadel and then Melvin Capital and how he tried to bridges retail into what happened to Melvin and how Citadel came in to help Melvin because of retail. You're all going to think that that's absolutely nuts, and of course that it is. But the hit piece that they tried to put, and again, it's right there at the top.
Wow, Bitcoin at 28,000.
Share with somebody else, and you have 10 different things that you could say, I can prove him wrong on each and every single one of these. Make sure you check your 401ks, check your portfolios. There's something big that's coming. Nobody else is going to help you except yourself. Charles does not mention anything about Citadel being fined close to $100 billion for violations within the SEC for the last 5 to 10 years. That, to me, if you're going to sit there and brag about how great Citadel is with Mr. Ken Griffin, you think that you would also then want to put a negative. But since he doesn't mention one negative, you can tell this is a smear hit piece. If you take this video and you show it to somebody that is not into AMC, they're into the market at all, and they're going to be blaming retail, tell them that. You need to help protect people because they aren't going to do them themselves. People need to be spoon-fed information, so that's fine. Right there is your information. Spoon-feed it to them. Give them a couple other things. You don't need to go into a year and a half's worth of DD, and you don't need to go into all the diagrams and all that. Show them this. Show them the other points. And let them now then make the choice. They've been warned. So after, when the doo-doo hits the fan, and later on when you see that person, they're going to be like, I should have listened to you. I didn't have a warning back in 2007 and 2008. If I did, I would have gotten out and I would have protected my money. Years going back to Black Monday and all the rest, go back into the 80s, even in the 90s. If people had some knowledge ahead of time, they would have done anything they could to protect every last cent that they had. Instead, they didn't know. Nobody thinks that the New York Stock Exchange is out to get you, but it is. You don't make money off of stocks. You make money off of all the nonsense that's happening within the stock market that you are not allowed to participate in because you do not have the funds to do it. So please, you've been in this for this long. If you honestly feel that this play is no longer valuable for you, I respect your decision and you do what you need to do. Next coming weeks and maybe even the next month or two, there's going to be times when you're going to be tempted to do a couple different things. You go. You don't need to explain anything to anybody else, and you do what you need to do. But just remember, we've been holding for this long. There's a lot of nonsense that you can all see. We all saw it coming. Okay, all the things that everybody's been talking about. Here it is. You're how Bonnie can the Fed keep throwing into this? They can't. They're not going to be able to save everything. And finally, I will close it off with this. Keep your eye on BlackRock. They are now positioning themselves to now back the U.S. crypto dollar.
Yep.
So a little tinfoil hat, which isn't too much tinfoil hat. This market, when it crashes, federal government will then go to crypto. They will then be able to track every single thing that you do.
Yep.
If I've got a couple $1 million in my bank account, I don't care how much you track me because I ain't spending it here until you people fix the way that this nonsense is going. This is more than money. And when you talk to people about this, you tell them, I'm not in here to make just a big payday. I'm here for change. They started it back in Occupy Wall Street. That fell apart because the groups that were there all started interfighting with one another. Kind of like the same nonsense that's going on here. So, whatever little crap that you got between each other, whether you believe you're right or you're on the left, put all that away. None of that matters. Your common ground is money. That's the only thing right now that everybody seems to care about. You take that away from people versus any of the other nonsense that's going on, then you're going to see a revolution going on. So just warn people, tell them to take a look into it, protect yourselves. If you've got a 401k, get on the phone tomorrow morning, find out where your money is and what is your broker going to do to help you if the market crashes. And if they say, I'll get back to you, get your money out and do something else with it. There's plenty of bonds that you can put your money into. There's other investment plays that you can do to protect yourself or hedge your investment. Nobody else is going to look out for your money. That's it. I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Because I've been saying, too, keep an eye out for that crypto dollar thing that they got coming. Because obviously there's not enough physical dollars to go around. They're having liquidity problems now. If they went and squeezed the stocks the way they're supposed to squeeze, the cash is not available. So they're going to have to usher this thing in. And as soon as you start hearing them saying that they're going to force companies to start accepting that parallel currency, you'll know that we got to be close. I mean, maybe they're going to let us squeeze and they're going to come up with all these digits and say we can only take out X amount per day, or we can use their cryptocurrency. Something like that's going to happen. We're going to be forced into it to use it. We're not going to get a clean win. This is part of that Agenda 21 crap too, is the 7% inflation, the cryptocurrency, like all this weird stuff was all conspiracy theory stuff from like years ago. And all of a sudden now it's all popping up. It's in our face. And it's like, is this really happening? Like, it feels like it.
Well, you're right, bro. And the other part about this too is, everybody thinks, okay, well, whatever rules are left will be protected by those rules if anything happens. Let me just correct you right there. The rules that were in place we thought that were going to protect us now have failed us. They hold the keys to the gates.
Yep.
So if something happens, you can bitch and cry all you want, but it's their market. You might not be able to get in because they take a button away or they tell you, sorry, this is under investigation. Sorry, this place is shut down. You can't buy in. Whatever you had from this point going forward from going there. So, there's a lot of things that they're going to try to throw at people to make you kind of want to guess a lot. But again, if you think that the SEC is going to come in to help and bail out, not happening. Gensler does not work for the people. He works for the administration that put him in his spot.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, and I will say it one more time. You can DM me separately, and I'll have a nice, respectful conversation. Give me 3 things that the Biden administration has done up until this point that's made this country better. Don't compare it to what Trump did. I'm asking you, what has Biden done? Give me 3. The only one that I've got so far, that he's trying to cancel student debt. We all know what that's going to do. Nothing. That ain't happening either. I'm not asking you to go out and bash the left and bash anybody that voted for Biden. We all need to come to an agreement here that there are a lot of problems on both sides of the political theater.
Oh, I agree.
It's going to get changed unless we do it ourselves.
100%.
Don't wait for somebody else to help you out, people. Please.
The one. I sent you a message on Twitter for that video when you get a minute. I appreciate you, buddy.
Oh, that pull over, no problem. You got it.
I've got some more questions and comments here. Wall Street Wolfie says, I joined when it was $1.99, but dropped when you hiked the price. Yeah, I end up having to move the price up because that's just the way things went. I would end up doing more stuff, adding more stuff. So that's just kind of the way it went.
Froggy, do you follow Corey?
Who is it?
Corey?
Which one? Who's that?
The one that does the biops and stuff?
Mm-hmm. He's really good, Jeremy.
Okay. So I've been talking to him last night. I'm going to help him. I'm kind of working on something. So that report that came out yesterday, that it was on Webull about MK downgrading, there's a big backstory to a lot of those people that work there. You want to start connecting some dots, you know where they're going to lead. So anything that's going to be coming out over the press, I'm telling you, the manipulation's deep. And next week, I actually tweeted it out on my timeline. Kindly take a read into it. And when Corey if he's doing a space call, I'll probably have him hopefully do it with us. If he doesn't, we'll all go in there with him. But there'll be a lot of information that you guys are going to want to see because the tentacles go deep. Citadel is bigger than a lot of people believe that they are. I'm just going to put it like that.
I had a feeling.
A lot of people in that space call, you know that though. He gets over 8. Just I think he had they had over 1,000 or something. He gets a lot of people on space calls, so you got to be ready for that. Be ready to ask those questions too, because he's I guess the man of Twitter. I guess he's good. I like him. The one I do like him. I don't think Jeremy knows him though. I like to send Jeremy his information so you can see who he is.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious on who it is. I mean, I try to follow anybody that I can, especially when it comes to this kind of stock market stuff.
Also, I want to say this young man is I see him in I do see you in the space calls. I'm going to call you out because this guy, he's good, probably. He has tons of people every day in the space call. He's new from what I know, but he sounds like that guy called that guy. So, Devlin, I see you in here. I do appreciate you. I do come into your calls. He's the one down there with the drinking I think he got an AMC cup in his hand. I'm gonna give him the mic if he wants to come say hi to you, because yeah.
Oh, Juppin's good people, bro. He's good.
Yes, he is. I mean, wow. I tell you about it, Froggy.
Now, here's a comment that came up from Wall Street Wolfie. This is I hear this concern a lot, and it says I still can't trust Adam Aron, but you got to look at it like he has so much experience. He knows everything that needs to be done, and he even said in the call, like he's waiting for that certain opportune time to pounce. Like, yeah, you can get somebody new that would take that spot, and they would be looking to drive up the earnings and turn that profit, but this is not a normal play. There's a lot of weirdness about it. So maybe the experience at this point might be what pays off versus having somebody that's different in that place. I mean, because you look at Ryan Cohen, he's a lot younger. He does have experience, but Adam Aron has, 3 times the experience in the market than he does? So, I mean, it looks like AMC might be the bigger of the two plays, but that's going to come down. We won't know until after the squeeze is over which one was actually the bigger play.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
What up? What's going on? What's the mood today? It seems like we ain't positive. What's going on?
Who's not positive? I'm positive. I think
we're all positive. I'm happy this is happening. I'm happy that there's some volatility in the market and AMC finally. This dip got me excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm not gonna lie. We had a really good day. We had a group of people who hung out, chatted, and they weren't discouraged. It was a good day. I mean, I understand that the stock price is down, and they're pushing it down, but no, if you just look at the data, I mean, I don't think anybody sold, really. There wasn't a lot of selling going on today. There was a whole lot of buying, not a whole lot of selling. So just what I see. Who pulled up the Fidelity stuff, AJ, earlier? Do you remember who that was?
Yeah, Froggystyles did.
The Fidelity.
Yeah, I'll link that for you guys too, so you can have it. This is the Fidelity order. I don't even know what the heck it's called. Orders by Fidelity. I'll pin that here so you guys can see it.
I mean, it's interesting. Like we buy and buy and buy, and the price still goes down. It's, you know, what are you gonna do, right? But as long as you know you're getting a deal, like, I mean, those deals are there. I think. I'm happy buying at these prices.
87% buy orders on AMC just in Fidelity. So I mean, and we took number 6 on basically most active over there. GME ended up passing us, but they got, what is that, 95% buy orders? That's insane. So we're definitely not selling.
Yeah.
It's
So
kind
what? So I don't know. I think we're in a good mood. I'm not upset at all. You know, I don't like to see the stock price down here. I don't like to see my portfolio red, but I'll be green soon, I'm sure.
Oh, I don't like seeing red either, but I mean, I definitely, you know, got more shares. So I bought a lot yesterday and bought some more today, but that's pretty much it. I actually thought it was going to bounce today, but I mean, we got a discount today. At some point, it's going to bounce right back, and we'll get the gain off of that. So hopefully this is going to be, if you look at the chart that I just had up, I'll pull that back up here too.
Yeah, everybody should be buying at these levels. I mean, you should be pretty close to your average. If it drops below your average, unless you're holding from $2, now is the time to average down, add more shares.
Look at that. 2 red earnings in a row. 2 red earnings in a row.
Yeah, nobody should sell in the red here. It's not costing anybody anything to hold these shares.
Yeah, you don't realize a loss until you sell. So whether your portfolio is red or not, you know, you're not going to realize a loss unless you sell it. I mean, I'm not financial advice, but, you know, just like a gain, you don't realize a gain until you sell it. I mean, it is what it is, right? It works the same way. So you either sit on it and wait, or you do what's best for you. That's all I can tell you.
Look at all those red days going into the last earnings. You know, all these red days have popped right into that earnings, and then right after that, it started to pop up, pulled back, and ran. It's kind of ironic. We're doing pretty much the same exact thing over here. Bunch of red days going in earnings, and we're just waiting for it to pop back up, bounce, and then run. Hopefully that's the way it plays out, because this earning here should be positive. And same with the one after that. So if the shorts are smart, they're going to try to get out between here and next earnings. So that's what's got me excited, is it's cheaper right now than it's been for a long time.
Exactly.
Samantha wants to ask you a question, Jeremy, or Mediocre Trader, or AJ, or are you ready to answer?
What's the question?
I think they want to come up and ask.
Oh, okay.
They want to ask verbally. They're probably muted.
He's not muted.
What's up? What's up? Good afternoon, everybody.
What's up?
I just wanted to come up because I heard somebody about a minute and a half ago talking about this is a great buying time for people to average down. And today, I was able to double my position in AMC.
Nice.
Damn right, bro.
Thanks to the fucking hedges to drop.
Congratulations.
Because I was able to double my fucking position today. I've been waiting.
Trap, watch the language. Watch language.
Oh, shoot. Oh, God, I forgot Diva's in here. Diva, I'm so sorry. Holy cow. Diva, I so forgot that you're in here. I apologize, ma'am. I am so sorry. I'm just super stoked that I was able to double up on my position today. I've been in since June. And so I bought in the 60s, and I bought a little bit and a little bit and a little bit as I could. And today I told my wife, like, months ago, if they ever drop AMC to $10, like, I'm going to double my position. And I held word to it. Nobody knew about it. I kept it to myself, but I held word to it today. I doubled my position. So
congratulations,
for you, man.
And yeah, you guys are great.
Trap, you're a great guy, bro. And I know the last couple of days, no jokes aside, it's just been a little, rough and a little strenuous and all that stuff. But I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy you're able to do this, and I hope this works for you, me, and everybody else. But I'm happy for you, brother. I really am. That's awesome news. Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, like I've always said, is like about not over leveraging yourself. Like, this was money that I put aside for a time like this, and I was able to use it. It's not taking any food off my table. My mortgage still going to get paid, but I was able to do. It feels like a gift to me. Like, literally, it feels like my birthday. Like, I was able to buy myself a gift that I really wanted. I never thought that it would ever come back down here, and it did. And I was able to double my position, and I feel great about it. So, yeah, I just want to say somebody did double up today, and it was me.
We appreciate you. We really appreciate you.
Let me see what else we got here. We got Justin says, "Don't forget the executive order on Chinese collateral. Does it expire? I thought it gets signed in on June 2nd. I can't remember how that works. I
think it expires.
Oh yeah, the old one expires, so they sign a new one. Isn't that what it is?
Right, and they're probably not going to sign it because they want to sanction China. Is the thought on that?
That'd be interesting.
From what I understand, I could be wrong.
Ask the panel a question. Go ahead, Chris.
Somebody got the mic?
Yes, I hear you. Can you hear him? Hear me? Can you hear him?
No.
No, we don't hear
him.
I do not know.
Oh, he was talking. Okay, Chris, try to go down and come back up so they can answer your question if you don't mind. Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's Twitter.
Hold on a second. My app just crashed. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta run off here. I got somebody coming over to my house in about 5 minutes. So I want to say bye to everybody. This is AJ at StockThatDip. Thank you for everybody that's supporting us, and keep following along. And I'll be on a show later on. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, later, man. Thanks for coming.
Later, AJ. Have a good day, bud.
Oh, I'm trying to get back to the top of the screen here so I can.
So Donald Young says cost to borrow should be minimum 10%. I have to agree. It should be high.
Okay. The girl from Ipanema.
Yeah. My space call crashed, so I had to scroll all the way back through to get back up to you guys. So I'm back.
Okay, okay. I was going to tell the one you back. I heard you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to connect Chris. He wants to ask yourself Mediocre Trader, or is there a question? Here.
I think he left the room. Hopefully he's coming back. There he is.
Hey, all right, you guys back? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
All right. For everyone that I mean, I hear a lot of talk about Adam Aaron and that they don't trust him and everything. The man has done a fantastic job navigating us through all this. He's been quiet the last couple weeks because I mean, there's a blackout period before earnings, for one, and then I mean, we're shareholders. We don't know everything going on up there. We know there's a DOJ investigation. He might have to be quiet. So, give the man time. DOJ investigations just don't happen overnight. But like he says, when it's time to pounce, I know they've already got a plan. They're just waiting for everything to fall in line, and it'll work out. Just stay true to your convictions. And if you got into this play because of a certain situation, is the situation still there? If it is, there shouldn't even be a question if you're still holding. I've been in the play forever. And my conviction, my confirmation, everything hasn't changed since day one. I don't care how low they drop the price, what they do. You can see it every day. So, you can't lose conviction in someone because they're just quiet for a little bit. There's other things going on that maybe he has to be quiet. And they're not just going to come out and say, "Oh, Adam Aaron can't say nothing." He's the only CEO that literally talks to his shareholders on Twitter, everything.
Do you think he's been honest with us the whole time?
The whole time?
Mm-hmm. Since we've gotten into this play over the last year, everything that he's come out with, you think he's been truthful with us?
As much as he can, yeah.
Okay. All right. So if there was something, he knows we're supporting him, and as truthful as he's been in everything he's given to us. If there was some bad things coming up, do you believe it'd be in his best interest to make sure retail knows, or do you think he would try and hide it and lie about it?
No, I think he would let us know.
Exactly. So there's your conviction.
We saved that company. He knows. We saved his job.
Backing up exactly what you said. He's been this honest with us for this long, and if something that bad was coming and he lied to us about it, he knows he'd be done. If we have to weather the storm for a little bit, he came out and said that, I think everybody would just grip on and hold on. We've been doing it for this long, and then we still support him. But he has not lied to us. He's been truthful with us ever since we've been in this. And I agree with what you're saying, brother.
Yeah, he said it during the space call.
I agree with what you guys are saying, but I want to say this. I think he should be a lot more outspoken like Elon Musk, and that's not going to change my mind. I do appreciate what he's doing, but he should be more blunt and protect himself, yes, from the SEC and all that garbage. I do agree that he has to protect himself, but he should...
I totally get what he's saying. But I trust that.
I lost everyone again.
You know. I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, he got disconnected, it looks like.
Oh. I know people want CEO Adam to do more and this and that, but we don't know what's going on in the background. We have no idea. I mean, he has lawyers, and stuff like that, and there might be things that he cannot, share right now. So I think we need to be understanding at the same time. I understand, some of us are getting impatient or we want him to say certain things and maybe he cannot, but we just have to be a little bit more patient and a little bit more understanding, I think. But that's my opinion. So.
No, I agree with you 100%. There's certain things.
Hey guys.
there's certain things he can't do, which is be actually honest with us, because the SEC will fine him for telling the truth, which is crazy.
Right, and he doesn't want that to happen. So, I just think we need to be a little more understanding, a little more patient. I also pinned something to the top of the call, just something that we were talking about earlier in Spence's call on DRS. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with that. And he's been saying to follow 4 million AMC shareholders, DRS each 100 shares. The entire float would be logged, and proof of massive synthetic shares would be exposed in broad daylight. So just kind of something to consider, you know. I personally don't have any DRS shares, but I'm thinking of going on computer share and, you know, creating an account and, you know, buying some AMC shares on there. But that's me. You guys do you. Just wanted to share that real quick.
Now, technically, DRS should have probably been done back in January.
I agree.
But now, as long as it went on, like DRS would have probably bound the stock up and probably got it. I don't want to say delisting. It sounds like a bad word, but it would have probably got it investigated a different way, and the things would have played out a totally different way. But the way that things have played out now involved a lot more patience. We still get that guaranteed recovery play kind of thing, and it gets to play out a legal squeeze, I think. So I'm not sure if you want to call it a legal squeeze or a forced squeeze, but at least it evades the court system and the SEC with their shenanigans. So the only person that would understand that more would be an experienced CEO. And that's why I think that even though, yeah, Adam Aaron's not perfect and has done everything perfectly, he still gets my vote just because, like, you need that experience in there that understands that there's certain things you can and can't do, and there's certain things you should take care of right now, and there's certain things you should wait, and that's what he's doing. He's waiting for that pounce. That's obvious experience. Because like a newer CEO would see the problem and attack it immediately, and that would change the whole play. And
exactly.
So timing is definitely important.
I voted for Adam Aaron. I have no problem with Adam Aaron other than the fact that I think he should be more vocal and less silent. And there's things that he could say without giving out information. That's all I'm saying. He just needs to be witty like Elon Musk. That's all that I want.
Now, Adam got my vote too for all my accounts. The rest of the ones that were selling, like Adam was honest and said, we're going to sell during a certain period of time. Like, well, he's going to sell because he was doing something different with his money. The rest of them don't have that excuse. They didn't get my vote. And as far as
they didn't get my vote either, but Adam did. So, Froggy.
Yeah, it's just because of the fact that, like, Adam was at least honest enough to say, hey, I'm going to be selling my shares, gave us a heads up. And that's about as, like, you can't ask for more than that. But the rest of them, they snuck out the back door when he did it.
Absolutely.
And I was like, you've got to go. And, like, all these pay raises that they got that say on pay, definitely no. And
I voted no on that too. So.
And
it sounds like the ape community is on the same page because I did pretty much the same.
Yeah, if they want to raise, wait till after the squeeze, and if there's people still around that want to vote it in then, they probably well deserve it.
Let's wait till we're cash flow positive, and then we can talk about raises.
Yep.
That's how I feel about that, you know?
You got to earn it before you ask for it.
100%. But guys, I do have to step down. Sorry, my kid is outside playing in a pool, and I got to get back outside, and she's kind of making a mess. It's like 87 degrees here in Michigan. Pretty crazy.
Nice.
Not normal for me at all. I'll talk to you later, Jen. Love you. Appreciate you. Talk to you later, guys.
Yep.
Bye, Jen.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me up.
Yep. Have a good night. I got a couple more comments and stuff I want to pull up here real quick so I can get caught up. Weston says, so Froggy, how much longer before you think we start? Do you think this will be the actual MOAS or just another gamma type squeeze? Most likely it's going to be a form of like a run-up gamma kind of thing. But once we get to a certain point, it's going to be obvious. And when the short attacks or the red candles disappear and it's nothing but green for days, we're pretty much there. And that's what happened with Tesla, same exact thing. The attacks went away, the big red candles disappeared, and everything just went into it like this amazing continuance of run-up. And it will probably be, I hate to say it, it's going to be almost more like Tesla. If they let it slowly squeeze up where one gets hit this month and one gets hit next month, or however they play it out, this squeeze could last for a very long time, just like Tesla. Now, they're not the same company. Tesla's getting 50% return per year, and AMC is not going to quite be that number, so we will hit an earlier limit. And people will probably leave because, like, when you know it's overpriced at a certain point, that's what you do is take profit. Where Tesla, people were obsessed on holding on to it no matter what, and that's why the price went crazy and stayed there. So it depends on what people do. If we continue to hold after all the squeezing happens, the market cap could technically stay there. And I laugh about it because, like, what's the odds that, like, you know, the majority of the people hold the stock and never let the price come back down? I mean, it is possible, but it would be wild.
Justin has a question he would like to address you with the panel. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, I was just going to say, as far as like Adam Aaron goes, I think the dude's been as transparent as he possibly could, and commenting on like him saying when he was going to sell. I mean, he telegraphed it 100%. He even said, hey, it's for this reason, it will be, and even made the comment of, don't let the media spin this and all this FUD about it, like just financial planning. I feel like the dude's been straight up, but I think as far as like his silence goes, I think he's being truthful in that he's waiting to strike when the iron is hot. You may have an opportunity to take a shot here and there, but I think he just keeps waiting for the correct time, whether that be on the legal aspect, when the DOJ concludes whatever investigation they're doing. I'm not holding my breath on it, because this thing's obviously run deep, and it's anybody's guess. I think if anybody has less of a conflict, it's going to be the DOJ over the SEC. I think the SEC will be the last one to say anybody did anything wrong. I think the DOJ is going to be zero cares. They're going to go, yeah, these people messed up. But I think it really is. I think he made that comment to make sure that people knew that he's not trying to be complacent and just kind of sit back and let his stock get demolished, because he does have a vested interest. I mean, all stock price is tied to whether they can get loans, they can get, a plethora of things. So there's huge ramifications for the stock being down this far. So I have to at that believe that he really is being truthful and going, I just got to wait until like it is an opportune time and all of these stars have aligned. But I just keep adding the dip, and I know what I have, and that's about it. This community is absolutely the most nuts people ever, and I love it. And it's easy to be down on a 12 to 15% day, but come in here, just add some more.
Yeah, that's all I did. I added more to it, and I'm kind of happy to get more at this point.
Exactly.
Hey, sorry, Frog, I'm not looking at my phone. Can I add on to what Justin was saying real quick?
Yeah.
Now, when Adam Aaron came out about the compensation package, he wanted everybody to vote on it. At the end of the day, they could still go ahead and vote for it. But if he was being that sneaky, he wouldn't have asked the public to come out. Well, maybe he had to. Maybe he was bound by the obligations for the shareholders to come out. But still, he still is asking. It's still out there for people to take a vote on it. So
Yeah,
everybody informed. And again, it's just he could just bypass, and not really care, throw it out real quick, and then move along, and yeah, we're voting for it, and then we're going to do it. But the fact that he keeps including us, it just goes by what you're saying, Justin. It's true, bro. I mean,
and it's like when they wanted to issue more shares, and everybody was like, "No, like you just eluded us. Like, let it simmer, let it be, just let what's gonna play out, let it be." And he said, "Look, it was overwhelming. The people that hold our stock are not institutions. They're not that is retail owned. These are the people that own the company. And if anybody ever listens to like Marcus Lemonis or like Mark Cuban, any of those guys, they're like, you got to go back to like the old days. It's like when you own stock, like you are an owner of that company." And I think Adam made it very clear that he recognizes that and knows that we, as a community, we are the owners of that company, and we absolutely raised up and said, no more shares right now at all. And he goes, "Look, the owners have spoke, and they said no," and he took it off the table with not even of like, "Hey, this is a reason why we should do it," or trying to lean in and try to convince people. Everybody, in space calls, whatever, however, discussed, and people came to the conclusion. They're like, no more shares, and he recognized it. And I have to go, you know what? I respect, because someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I was pretty sure they could have done it anyway. They didn't really need us to go yes or no. It's kind of like a courtesy, like, hey, just start it out there. But like they said, look, they said no. And if we start going against these people that own our stock and we start pissing them off, then people aren't gonna hold the stock anymore. People aren't gonna want it, because this has been a retail owned company now for a while, and he's recognizing that and giving us the respect that we deserve. So I got to give it to him. I got to be on his side. He's got my vote. None of the other people do. They're not very they obviously haven't been transparent. I don't really care too much about them. Our CEO is the one that's steering the ship for us, and as long as he's steering it in a way that best suits, I think, the company and everything, then I'm good with that. And he's shown us respect, so I got to show him that respect.
You're right, man. And look, the last thing about that video, that dummy Gasparino brings up thing about Darkpool, complaining about Darkpool. That was actually Gary Gensler who publicly came out and complained about the Darkpools. And borrowing shares, here's the thing with borrowing shares. The pension funds that went in bought all those shares, and last year everyone's like, oh, the police, teachers, blah, 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 they're coming in to save you. No. What Gasparino is not telling you is, in case you don't know or you're just not up to date, those pension funds have been loaning out the shares. Absolutely. And collecting on that interest. That's how they've been making money. That's why they jumped into this, because they know that this thing is over leveraged and that there's so many shorts out there. So again, if they went in and scooped up a couple million shares, hey, we'll go ahead and we'll lend them out, they're going to make money on it. That's the reason why they did it. I mean, that's it. And even if they go ahead and dump all those, sorry, not going to be enough when Margie comes calling. So that's two more things that he left off that video that he doesn't want people to know unless you go out and go look for it. Guys,
and there's one other thing. At the end of the day, and this is no fun. If it never squeezes, never had anything, which I do believe it absolutely will. But if it doesn't, I think that at the minimum, people are owed a lot of answers. How does this stock, and I'm looking at Ortex, as we're like February 7th of this year, we had that spike in the lending volume, and basically and that's been what basically pegged us at 100% utilization. answer our question. Okay, if this was truly brought down through a normal means, normal Wall Street, how was it done? Which they obviously won't give up, but it's like, okay, we got to know how can something that's been 100% utilized since February, and today they borrowed 8.96 million shares. I'm sorry, borrowed shares, 8.96 million, and they only returned 3.41. So they increased short interest by 2.25%, 2.24%. How in the world does that continue to happen on a stock that is there are supposedly no shares available to short? Now, obviously, BlackRock and all these, whoever else, owns them, they may be able to designate lots that are able to be used for short selling and some are not, so they can possibly control the cost to borrow by that. But I mean, this thing's been sitting at 100% since February. So we're at least owed answers on how has our cost to borrow not gone up marginally? How has it only gone up marginally? And how is there continuously some amounts, millions to be borrowed?
And why is all this press on us? If its stock is worth $1, how come the media and all these short sellers and all these shills and all these people care so much about it? Why wouldn't they just move along?
They're so worried about our money. It's our money.
The only time
worry about yourselves.
The only time a hedge fund has ever been worried about our money, but yet they during the pandemic when they took over $60 billion from the American people, they weren't worried about you. But now all of a sudden they're worried about your dollar. Okay, dream on, Bob.
Yeah, it's absolutely a joke. But yeah.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, are you guys addressing Jeremy or StockThatDip or Mediocre with the question, or you guys just talking?
Ranting.
Ranting.
Rant.
Okay, because
we'll talk more about it tonight, Justin. Come in, April.
Yeah, sounds good.
I got a couple comments I wanted to get to too. Christian Princess says, I'm worried about selling too soon or holding too long. I'd be more worried about holding too long because when them buyers go away at them astronomical prices, I wonder how many people will be able to sell after it comes back down. Because I don't think that there's going to be very many buyers trying to buy in late when it's trading like high thousands. So selling too soon, that would suck. That's the only thing that that could be bad is selling too soon. But holding until it's gone over the hill and coming back down, I mean, there might not be any buyers then. One thing I'll be looking for is like Vanguard and BlackRock, what they're going to do. I'll also be looking at the money indicator for how many shares have been returned. And once we get back to normal, I want to see what the price looks like so I can kind of estimate things a little bit better. Because they're not covering nothing right now. And when they start covering, you'll start seeing that my money indicator just tilting straight up. And once we get back to zero, like I said, once we get to a normal correction point, who knows how many buyers are actually in here, how many synthetics are actually in here. Because at that point, the number could go much higher than where we are at that point. Because we'll never know how many synthetics there ever was in the first place. The FTDs, we can have an idea, but it's going to be smaller than what we think it is. The short interest is probably much higher than we think it is. And there's a lot of variables. So we'll be looking at it pretty close to see, even if we get a couple thousand per share and it continues to rise up. I mean, I don't think we're going to see 100,000 per share, but I mean, just got to watch it and see where it heads once it starts moving. Rob says this thing will drop under 10 in the morning. Then a violent bounce will happen around 950 and 975. I'm pretty confident in the fibs. Yeah, I could see it pulling some shenanigans where it drops down low in the morning and completes a perfect bear trap, and then bounce back violently. Because I keep eyeballing. Right now, I'm looking at what is it, 1150 or is it 1050? One of the numbers. Yeah, 1050 right now. So it's already hopped back up there anyway. So it got back exactly where I called it for Max Payne. It did that in the after hours. So obviously it follows Max Payne. The calculated version, not the one that you can go on Google, because that one's always wrong. Todd said that they borrowed 9 million shares today. They're going to start. Are they going to short them and drive the price down further? I think they've already used them. Hopefully they're done using them. Beverly says, I think the global cabal is being taken down, going back to gold-backed currency. I think that'd be amazing. It would slow things down on growth and stuff like that. It would eliminate the government's overspending and massive size that they use to basically push people around with. I think it would change things. So if that was a reset, that's one I'd like to see. Rob says, if you look at the OBV, people are not selling. Yeah, 100%. It's still holding up there. We just haven't had a price correlation move with it. So we're waiting on that too. JMO, or maybe it's IMO. Yeah, I think he meant IMO. In my opinion, everyone should be buying now with the blue light special and then sit back and wait. Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. Can't give financial advice, but if this was the bottom, it's a good price. Beverly says, can you explain the DXY? It's the US dollar. Usually when they sell stock, when you go from stock back to cash, it goes into the dollar. And when there's a lot of selling going on, the demand for dollars go up. So then the dollar goes up in price. Usually the VIX correlates with it, but for some reason the VIX is acting a little funny. Not sure why. They're probably playing with that too. But the dollar strength usually makes the market weaker too. So I think the more the dollar goes up, the more weakness you'll see in the stock market. They just kind of work that way. Anything over 100 is dangerous for the DXY, and we're at what, 104? 104, like almost on the dot. And if you look at it, tell me how natural this looks. Look, here's your 1 minute chart. Look at all them red candles. Red, 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 red. Like, it looks like it's under attack. Does anybody else see that? That is like the most unnatural chart I've ever seen. Even when it's going up, it's being attacked and it's not going down. So, do you see that, Mediocre?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I see it.
That is definitely not a normal looking chart.
One hella red chart right there, man.
Yeah, it's what I'm thinking that is. I think that's the Fed sprinkling some of that magic printer money all over the place. And it's not doing nothing to that dollar. So that just means a lot of people are exiting, going back to dollars. They're providing liquidity, and they have to. Because if there's no dollars available, the price will skyrocket. And this is where they get to go and throw trillions and trillions of dollars at the market. And they're probably having a field day doing it. I can only imagine how much they put in, though. That's going to be one thing to watch for tomorrow. If they're struggling that bad right through here, I wonder if it continues. Yeah, it got up to 110 cents. And then they attacked it and tried to bring it back down. And they stopped it at 104. Maybe that's their limit. They're going to stop the market right there and just feed money in. That's what's going to get interesting. Because you can see we got green and reds back here. But something has the Fed spooked. And it has to be the Fed or plunge protection team. which still has the Fed in it. Somebody's putting money in. Carl says as long as AA keeps trying to get AMC profitable, expand, and diversify, makes the company stronger, and it will kill the shorts. Yeah, pretty much that's it. It's just a matter of time now. I mean, bankruptcy's off the table. Profitability's right around the corner. I mean,
yeah, we're looking good.
This play should have been done a long time ago, but the shorts are stupid, and they just buried themselves into a massive hole. And hey, that's more money for us. All that money they made in that uptrend of a market, they're going to hand all of that over and some. Dynamite says fresh eyes are sometimes a great thing. Typically, yeah, you do want to get fresh eyes into a company or something, but experience is still something that you can't put like a value on. It's still experience. Most people want experienced people around to do important things. So fresh eyes is definitely important too. That go-getter, like trying to impress you kind of thing is important, but experience always wins. Terrence says, remember Kmart Blue Light Special? That's what's going on now. By now you will prosper in the long run. I agree. It's about that time. I want to try to wrap things up here, guys. If you guys could hit that like button, I'd appreciate that. Miss Harris, do you want to wrap things up over there on your end?
Yes. One moment. Let me go outside for a second. One moment. Okay. Hello, guys. Everyone is up in the space called. Please go down into the stream, like and subscribe. Also, subscribe to the Mediocre Trader channel as well as StockThatDip channel. Jump back over to Froggy's channel and the X-Man or X-Lady. Jay Portuguese shows you how you can become a member. And those other two that were in my DM, he shows you how you can become a member as well. I want to give a shout out to Devin. Thank you for being in here. We definitely appreciate you. Also, Jen, Spence, Terrible, and Sugar Kush. Definitely appreciate all you guys. Mediocre Trader, you rock. AJ, you're phenomenal. Appreciate everything that you do. Guys, listen. Now, you see that the Wall Street Wolfie, he had a problem. He thought that Froggy overlooked his comment. You want to become a member. I'm telling you this for real. Because just think, if you're not a member, you want to ask Froggy a question, you won't be able to. There's only 16 in a day. You become a member to help Froggy become a full-time YouTuber. It benefits all of us. Thank you so much. 8 versus Wall Street. He's going to try to start doing AM live streams in the morning. We appreciate you as well. And all the partners out there. Appreciate all you guys. And Jay Portuguese, we need to promote Mediocre Trader's channel along with StockThatDip channel. We need to get people in there. But thank you guys all. As you guys know, as my son always says, he says, Mom, build up, we out. It's on you, Froggy.
Yeah, I want to do a shout out to Apes vs. Wall Street. He always stops in here. I'd like to get him back on the show, but definitely check him out. Another good guy. Super Steven, another good guy. Ape Radio, which will be on here in about an hour and 15 minutes. That's usually headed by the one or Hedgie or both of them. And both of those are good guys, and they always talk about good stuff too. We got Jen. She's like our sweetheart. She's always here for the community. Spence, another good guy. He knows a lot about pretty much everything that's going on. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it that I got there, I think. Did I miss anybody? We got Brenda. Hopefully she gets feeling better. Want to do a shout out to CSI too, Common Sense Investor, since those two do work together. I think I got everybody. Yeah, Casey Shaw. I'll be doing an interview later on tonight with his mother, so we can try to get the information out. Because she wants to be on the board. And that's it. I think Mediocre Trader, it's on you, man.
Yeah, I want to thank all the creators out there and, the people who come on and they put out the good information and all that to help keep the community getting the proper information. You know, it's important that the information's getting out there, you know. And I also want to thank everybody, all the people in the chat, in the space call. I want to thank all of them for coming every day, watch the show, listen to the show, all that good stuff. And with that, we'll see you guys later on. We're going to do that show with Casey's mom, Misty. That should be fun. And don't forget to beat the subscribe and the like button, and hop on over to Froggy's channel and smash his as well. And we'll see you guys in next video.
One more thing. Devin, if you do a space call, please send everybody over to the Froggystyles channel tonight to the YouTube channel, to his YouTube channel. Devin, please send everybody over to Froggystyles YouTube channel or the Mediocre YouTube channel tonight when they interview Casey Shaw's mother. Thank you.
Yep, and with that being said, if you smell what the frog is cooking, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. If you smell what the frog is cooking.